Okay, good afternoon, everyone. I am Miss Banare Moy, Miss RMA from Bongkon branch. Okay, today I'm going to explain about the topic of geography part, SS Geography part, chapter 2. Today we are going to start Geography chapter 2. Okay. Land, soil, water, natural vegetation, and wildlife resources. Okay, all of you, I wanted to switch on your video, all of you. Please switch on your camera. Okay, good. Okay, open your book. Let's start from chapter 2, page number 9. Geography, page number 9. Okay, first of all, let me explain about the land. What is land? We can simply say land is the part of earth which is not covered by oceans or other bodies of water. Okay, land is the part of the earth which is not covered by oceans or other bodies of water. This is land. Okay. Land is very important among the natural resources, and land covers only about 30% of the total area of the Earth's surface. Okay, I want you to look at your textbook. Land covers only about 30% of the total area of the Earth's surface, and these all parts of this small percentage are not habitable. And the uneven distribution of population in different parts of world is mainly due to varied characteristics of land and climate. In some areas there are lots of people, and in some areas there are a few people, a few population. Yeah, this is why, because due to the different characteristics of land and climate, depending upon the geographical. Okay. The rugged topography, in some areas we found rugged topography. Rugged simply means which is not smooth. Okay. The rugged topography, steep slopes of the mountains and low-lying areas, thick forested areas are normally sparsely populated or uninhabited. Uninhabited areas are mainly thick forests, okay? Thick forests, desert areas, and rugged topography, okay? And sparsely populated simply means few population, okay? Sparsely populated, in desert and forested areas, we found sparsely populated, okay? Less population. And plains and rivers, valleys offer suitable for agriculture. In plain areas and river valleys, there are more people and there are more population than the forested areas, and then the rugged topography and the rather than the mountains, which are very steep slopes. Okay. And next is land use. What is land use? We can simply say the land use is importance or uses of land. What are the uses of land? It's land use. Land, we use land for different purposes, such as agriculture, forestry, mining, building houses, roads, and setting up of industries. Those are very common. And this is commonly termed as land use. Okay, this is the meaning of land use. And the use of land is determined by physical factors. determined by different types of geographical factors such as topography, about the physical features, and it depends on the soil. It also depends on climate, minerals, and availability of water. And human factors such as population and technology are also important determinants of land use pattern. Okay, and go to the next page, page number 11. Land can also be divided on the basis of private land and community land. What is private land? Okay, private land, we can simply say that private land is owned by individual, whereas community land is owned by the community for common uses. Okay, community land is used for common uses like collection of fodder, fruits, nuts, or medicinal herbs. And these community lands are also called common property resources. Okay, and you should underline this. Community land resources is also called common property resources. Okay, and people and their demands. Our demands are very growing, but the availability of the land is very limited. You have to remember, okay? And so the quality of land also differs from place to place. And we need to conserve our land resources. How can we conserve our land resources? Do you have any idea? How can we conserve our land resources? Okay, look at your textbook, page number 11. Look at the bottom. Here is the conservation of land resources. How can we conserve our land resources? First, what is conservation? Conservation is the act of preserving and protecting, yeah, growing population and their ever-growing demand has led to a large-scale destruction. Okay, why do we need to conserve our land resources? Due to the limitation of our land resources, you have to remember. Okay, so here is the conservation of land resources. How can we conserve our land resources? Is due to the afforestation. Okay, due to the practicing of afforestation by planting more trees and land reclamation. What is reclamation? Reclamation simply means recovery. Okay, land reclamation means land recovery, and regulated use of chemical pesticides and fertilizers, and checks and overgrazing are some of the common methods to conserve our land. Okay, those are the conservation of land resources. You have to remember that. Okay, and go to the next page, page number 12. Here is some disaster. We found some disaster which is very common in Mizoram. That is landslide. Okay, I hope you all know that landslide. What is landslide? Landslide simply means the movement of land. Okay, landslides are simply defined as the mass movement of rock, debris, or earth down a slope. Okay, landslide is very common in Mizoram, and they often take place in conjunction with earthquakes. Landslides maybe sometimes occur due to the earthquakes and floods and volcanoes. Okay, you have to remember this. And sometimes landslides may also occur due to the human activities, human cause. Okay, so here are some mitigation mechanism. Mitigation mechanism simply means how can we avoid landslides? Some measures, okay, some measures and steps to prevent from landslides are as follows. Number one is some areas which are prone to the landslides can be avoided for building settlements. Okay, uh, we have to make the construction of retention wall. We have to make vegetation and by planting more trees, we can okay, the vegetation cover is an effective way to arrest landslide. Okay, vegetation cover is very important to control the landslide. Okay, and let's go to the next page, page number 13. Here is soil resources. Okay, the first one we have said is land resources, about the land resources, and here the next is soil resources. What is soil? What is soil? Soil is the thin layer of grainy substances. The thin layer of grainy substance covering the surface of the earth is called soil. Okay, underline this. This is the meaning of soil. The thin layer of grainy substance covering the surface of the earth is called soil, and it is closely linked to land, and landforms determine the type of soil. Okay, and how the soil is made, how soil is formed. Look at the next sentence. Soil is made up of organic matter. Okay, organic matter, minerals, and weathered rocks found on the earth, and this happens through the process of weathering. This is how soil is formed. Okay, and now look at the figure 2.3. Have you seen figure 2.3? Here is the soil profile. Have you seen? Okay. If you look at your figure, at the top we have topsoil. Okay, topsoil with humus and vegetation, and the next layer is subsoil with sand, silt, and clay, and the next layer is weathered rock material, and the bottom is barren rock. Okay, this is the simple soil profile figure. Okay, and next is factors of soil formation. This is very important. The major factors of soil formation are the nature of the parent rock and climatic factors, but these differ from place to place. If you look at your figure 2.4, page number 13, figure 2.4, you can see here is the factors affecting soil formation. Okay, there are five different factors which affect the soil formation. Okay, number one is parent rock. The parent rock determines the color of the soil and the texture, the chemical properties, mineral content, and permeability. Okay, and the next factors affecting soil formation is relief. Relief is altitude and slope of the mountain. Okay, altitude and slope, the height. Okay, and determine accumulation of the soil. And next is flora, fauna, and microorganism. Flora simply means all the plants and flowers, and fauna means all the animals. Okay, and microorganisms are which cannot be which can see only with the microscopic lens. Okay, those are very tiny. And next is climate. Under climate, we have different factors. Temperature, climate affects the temperature, rainfall, influence rate of weathering, and humus. And next is time. Time determines the thickness of soil profile. Okay, time is very important. It determines the thickness of soil profile. Okay, and okay, let's go to the next page, page number 14. Here is degradation of soil and conservation measures. What is degradation? Have you ever heard This word, okay, degradation simply means reduction. Okay, soil erosion and depletion are the major threats to soil as a resource. Both human and natural factors can lead to degradation of soil. Soil degradations may occur due to the human and natural factors. And here are some factors which lead to the soil degradation are, look at your book, deforestation. Deforestation, overgrazing, overuse of chemical fertilizers or pesticides, rainwash, landslides, and floods. Those are the factors which lead to the degradation of soil. Okay, and next is the methods. Okay, the methods, some methods of soil conservation. The first one is mulching. The bare ground between plants is covered with a layer of organic matter like straw, and it helps to gain soil moisture. Okay, soil moisture and soil water content. And next is contour barriers. Contour barriers. In contour barriers, stones, grass, and soils are used to build barriers to build a walls like a walls with a layer of along the contours. Okay, and next rock dam. Rocks are piled up. Are piled up to slow down the flow of water. Okay, to block uh, to block the moving away of rainwater. Okay, and next is terrace farming. Terrace farming. Okay, you can take a look from figure 2.5. Here is the example of terrace farming. These are made on the steep slope so that flat surfaces are available to grow crops. And terrace farming is very important because it can reduce surface runoff. Okay, surface runoff, rainfall. Okay, surface runoff, rainwater, and soil erosion, and it can also help soil erosion. Yeah, and next is intercropping. Intercropping simply means mixed cropping. Okay, different crops are grown in alternate rows and are sown at different times to protect the soil from rainwash. And next is contour plowing, shelter belts, and so on. Okay, we don't have much time, so let's go faster. Let's go to the next topic, water resources. I hope you all know that how water is very important to us. We cannot live without water. Yeah. Water is very, very important, renewable natural resources. Do you know what is the meaning of renewable resources? Renewable means which can be easily reproduced, which can easily renewed, recycled. Okay, and water is a very important renewable natural resource, and 3/4 of the Earth's surface. Okay, three-fourths means 3/4. Okay, 3/4 of the Earth's covered is water. Okay, of the Earth's surface is covered with water, and that is why we call the Earth is the water planet. Okay, and the ocean is saline, it is salty and not fit for human consumption. Okay, not fit for human consumption, and only 1%. You have to remember that, underline, only 1% of fresh water is available and fit for human use. Okay, from all the water only 1% is fresh water and fit for human use. Okay, and it from where it is found. It is found as groundwater, as surface water in rivers and lakes, and water vapors in the atmosphere. Okay, and water can neither be added nor subtracted from the earth, and its total volume remains constant. Okay, you have to remember that the water's volume is still remain. It cannot be added. The volume of water cannot be added nor subtracted. Okay, and here is very important one definition: water cycle. What is water cycle? Through the process of evaporation, condensation, precipitation, runoff. Runoff means a rainfall. Uh, all this is a water cycle. Okay, this is referred to as the water cycle. Okay, let's go to the next page. We have problems of water availability due to the scarcity of limitation of fresh water. We need to conserve our water resources again. Okay, how can we conserve our water resources? Due to the scarcity is caused by overexploitation, overusing and contamination of water, pollution of water. So we need to conserve our water resources. Here are some measures to conserve our water resources. We need to plant more trees, forest, and other vegetation cover. It will slow the surface runoff. Okay, it will slow the surface runoff, and it reduce underground water. Okay, and it replenish underground water. And water harvesting is another method to save surface runoff by storing the water in tank. Then the canals should be properly lined to minimize losses by water seepage, and sprinklers effectively irrigate the area by checking water losses through evaporation. And next, natural vegetation and wildlife. Let's go to the natural vegetation and wildlife. What is natural vegetation and what is wildlife? Natural vegetation and wildlife exist only in the narrow zone of contact between lithosphere, hydrosphere, and atmosphere. That is, we call it biosphere. Okay, we can find natural vegetation and wildlife only in biosphere. You have to remember. And in the biosphere, living beings are interlinked, interrelated, and interdependent on each other for survival. Okay, they are independent, they are interrelated, and this life supporting system, we call it ecosystem. Okay, and vegetation and wildlife are valuable resources, and plants provide how all these are interrelated and correlated with each other. Plants provide us timber. Do you know timber? Plants provide us timber, and they also give us a shelter to animals and produce oxygen that we breathe, and they protect the soil, so essential for growing crops, and acts as shelter belts and help in storage of underground water. And vegetation, natural vegetation are also very important because it provides us fruits, nuts, oil, gum, and medicinal plants, and so on. And wildlife. What is wildlife? Wildlife includes animals, birds, insects, as well as the aquatic life forms. Okay, and what are the importance of wildlife? uh, because they provide us wildlife animals and some kind of animals, birds and insects. They provide us milk, meat, hides. Hide means animal skin. Okay, hide is animal skin, and wool. From where we get the wool, we can get the wool from the sheep, the animal skin. Okay, and insects like bees provide us what? Oh, okay. Bees provide us honey. Okay, and help in pollination of flowers, and they have so many important roles. And distribution of natural vegetation in areas of heavy rainfall. In areas of heavy rainfall, we found a huge trees. Okay, depending upon the rainfall they receive, the vegetation and their trees are different. So in areas of heavy rainfall, the areas which have a very heavy rainfall, we found huge trees, and the forests are thus associated with areas having abundant water supply. And you have to remember that as the amount of moisture decreases, the size of trees and their density reduces. Okay, the size of the trees are reduces. Okay, and in dry areas of a low rainfall, we found thorny scrubs and scrubs are grown. Okay. In such areas, plants have deep roots and leaves, and their leaves have very thorny. Okay, and waxy surface to reduce loss of moisture by transpiration. And forests can be broadly classified as evergreen and deciduous. What is evergreen? Evergreen forests do not shed their leaves. You have to remember, it is very easy. Evergreen forests do not shed their leaves. Okay, do not shed their leaves in any season of the year. Uh, while deciduous forests shed their leaves in a particular season to conserve loss of moisture through transpiration. Okay, here we have two broad types of forests. The first one is evergreen. Evergreen forests are the forests which do not shed their leaves in any season of the year, and the next is deciduous forest, some which shed their leaves in a particular season. Okay. Okay. I want you to give a work. Let's go to the exercise, page number 22. Okay. Exercise number 2, 3, and 4. Exercise number 2 is tick the correct answer. Exercise number 3, match the following. Exercise number 4, true or false. Okay, and these 3 exercise will be your homework for today. Okay, and you can search the answers from your textbook. And I wanted you to read again the whole chapter from the beginning and highlight the important points and some word meaning. Okay. So are you clear about your homework? Question number 2, 3, and question number 2, 3, and 4 will be your homework for today. Okay. And that's all for today. Thank you, class.
Thank you, Miss.
Thank you.
Thank you, Miss.